Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the YouTube channel where I review movies and TV shows from my favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, everyone. My name is KJ, and today's video is my spoiler review for Episode 5 for Star Wars Maul, Shadow of the Lord, Episode 5, spoiler review. So if you have not seen this, please pause this, but before you go, could you please hit the thumbs up button, aka the like button. That would help my YouTube channel out, and I truly appreciate that. Come back and let me know what you think about Episode 5 of Star Wars Maul, Shadow of Lords. And again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned. Now, let's get into it. This episode continues on. The Empire ship is flying over the city as other smaller ships land. And the citizens are definitely worried. And when we get to the police station, we get introduced to Lieutenant Blake, who is looking for Maul. And the police station chief is under investigation for maybe helping two Jedis, which they're referring to Devin and Docky. And things are not looking good as the chief is no longer there. She's been gone, maybe, eliminated. And then we see the stormtroopers checking everyone's ID, looking for Maul's crew. And, of course, Devin and Docky are laying low as best as they can, staying out of the sight, showing us how dangerous the Empire is. And what's really cool with this one is, usually Star Wars is very goofy at times, especially with stormtroopers, but this particular scene in this episode, obviously, we see a more serious side of the stormtroopers just being stormtroopers. Like, they're following orders and they're ready to shoot on sight, basically. And it shows how dangerous it is. And of course, Jedis are just are frowned upon now. And Maul was supposed to be eliminated, forgotten. Maul is a failed protege, right? Because we know Dark Sidious, his whole plan is to find the right apprentice, the right one, and he's failed. He's failed, and now they're trying to eliminate that, so he can never speak about the evil Empire's main plan. So they're looking for him, They're gonna find it for sure. Now, during the police station scene, we see Detective Brandon Larson is being investigated by the one and only Inquisitor Mariok, and was just shocked and revealed. Now, they didn't show exactly what he was saying, but Detective Larson pretty much showed he didn't know anything, wasn't telling him the truth, and they let him go, too, at the end. But what I think Larson don't understand is, the Inquisitors, since they're trained under Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's the leader, it doesn't matter what Detective Larson is saying. Is the Marek can tell if he's telling the truth or lying. And he doesn't say a lot of words. He just pays attention. He uses the Force, because we see in this episode that he's investigating the shootout, the lightsaber scenes with Maul and the police station as they were trying to capture Maul in the gang turf. And we see Marioc noticing the lightsaber patterns, right? Because, the police station on this planet, they don't know what a lightsaber mark looks like, what it leaves, but he can read it. He can tell what it is. He can see how things went down. And he understands there's Maul and there's two Jedis. And that's just all him just looking and investigating on his own. And this is why he's an inquisitor. This is not everybody gets to join that group. Like you gotta be somebody, you gotta be good, you gotta be on a high level. Right? And everybody's above Dark Vader is above them, and then their Dark Sidious is above Dark Vader, obviously. And so that's just the ranking of everything. So these somebody like Mario has to be top elite in a way, top tier. So you can't really fool him. You can't really lie to him. You can't really quote unquote escape. The reason why he probably let Larson free because he needed to use him as a guinea pig to get closer to help fighting Maul and capturing him. And that's kind of usually the thing that you see. Now, Maul's droid has hijacked that Empire ship, and it shows the video of Devin and Daki. So again, Marioc is getting the information, and he's well aware of what's going on. Maybe not the whole thing, but he's well aware, like, the three people that his mission is to take down are on the same planet. And obviously, it's going to be better just to get them all three instead of doing one at a time. That's kind of like the goal. So yeah, it's a lot of guinea pigs. So, but also too in this episode, Riley, the son of Detective Brandon Larson, calls his mom, and she works for the Empire, and he's telling her what's going on. She pretty much tells him like, hey, your father needs to just listen to the Empire, do what they say, don't get in any trouble. And you can tell like she's scared, right? She's like checking her surroundings on this video call or holographic call, whatever it's called. And you can tell in that scene, like, they're listening on her. So she can't say anything out of pocket. She's got this, the Empire knows type thing. So, but it's interesting to see, like, Riley's mom works for the Empire by choice or by force, who knows. But whatever it is that caused those two to not be in a relationship. It also seems like there's a bigger story that they may tell in this season, or maybe in a season 2, if they do another season 2 for this show. But it seems like this season may just be the perspective of the father, right? It seems like Riley doesn't know, or fully know, like, what their job is as far as like what they know as far as secret insight, classified documents, things like that, right? And it's because he seems more like a sheltered kid. They're just parents trying to do the right thing to protect him. But it seems like from his mom's reaction and answer, maybe in another season, or maybe this, who knows, but we could get a perspective view from her viewpoint of the whole situation, but who knows? But it seems like there's something just big. This concerns Riley, and all he wants to do is he's worried about his dad, and he just wants to help. But the best thing he can do now is to help is, as we learn that in this episode, as Devin and Daki are on the run from stormtroopers, they decided to use Riley's and his father's, Brandon Lawson's place to stay that they're staying at to hide out. And at the end of this episode, Detective Brandon discovers that they're in his home. And that's how the episode ends. So that's the best way Riley could help, and he's showing like he can be a hero. He's gonna do this because he's the good guy, and he doesn't realize it made the whole situation even more dangerous because his dad is trying to protect him. But also, too, these two Jedis are on the run and they're trying to stay low from all this, while Maul is trying to do everything he can to convince Devin to join his team, aka the dark side. So that's how that ends with that episode. Now, let's talk into some topics that I want to bring up based off of this episode. So the first one is Riley's mother, Drea. Now, she is, again, she works for the Empire, but she was once married to Brandon Larson, and they share a child with Riley. And it's not very clear of why they broke up, but it just seems like the two parents have different viewpoints of what's the right thing to do, you know, as far as living life and all that. So the question is, do I think she will turn on him and Riley for the sake of Riley? Because now, since her son Riley called her, does she do the right thing for the evil empire and inform what's going on, or does she keep this a secret and put her life in danger? And she's far away from the her son. And so, do I think that? I gotta say, I would say no at the moment. And the only reason why I wouldn't think she will, inform the Empire what Riley's father is doing while they're trying to investigate where Darth Maul is, I don't think she's going to call or snitch on him. But what I do think is she's going to not try to fix it, but try to not make sure this doesn't get back to her. She has to look innocent, because at least Riley needs one parent around if things go the wrong way. So I don't think she's going to snitch. At first I thought about it, just the way she answered her son, but I think she did the best way I think she believes as a mother would do in her preview. So I don't think she's going to snitch. But I did thought that for a minute. I thought, oh man, she's gonna call in and just ruin everything. But I just, as of now, if they didn't do it in this episode, I don't think that's gonna be the story in the next episode. So no, I don't think so with that. But pretty close. The next topic that I want to bring up is, where is Chief Kylie? I think they just killed her off. I think they're just written her off TV of this show. And I don't really think they're going to have a scene of her death, but I think they killed her off on this. I think the idea is what they were doing with this scene was to show the audience that if the Empire wanted to get rid of somebody with no trace, no sign of whereabouts, they know how to do it, and that's what it was. So that's how Detective Larson got to be chief now in this because of this. So he's got a lot of pressure on him now, but for this police station to stay intact during this visitation of the Empire, it's all on his responsibility. And I think we're going to see a lot of the stress and struggles that he'll deal with going forward. But I definitely think they killed her off, and I don't think we're going to see this character in this season. Maybe in season 2, because it's like we didn't see the body, but I would imagine I don't think there's anything else they're going to show with her. So yeah, I think she's gone from this. That's what I think. Which again, I think, to me personally, I wish they kind of just show it just for the audience to get a better clearing, because yeah, you can leave it untalked about and people are going to theorize that maybe she's alive, maybe they're going to brainwash her or whatever it is. or somebody, maybe she has a child that's going to become maybe a young adult or a teenager who's going to want revenge for this. But I wish they just, honestly, would just had a scene just for that, just so we can have a clear understanding. But I think they'll probably more explain about her in dialogue. That's what I see out of it. And to me, that's just something I wouldn't want to just explain in dialogue. Obviously, you want to see the scene and see the two characters interact to the death of her. So that's what I would have gone with, but maybe they cut that out. Maybe they didn't have time to put that in this episode or in this season at all, but I wish they did, in my own opinion. But other than that, I do like the plot. It feels like a good cop, bad cop thing. It kind of imitates, art is imitating life. And it's like, the Empire is trying to be a dictatorship to the whole galaxy. And they're trying to dictate of how police officers in the Star Wars universe should do their job or handle things. So I really like that. And I also just like the origin story of Devin, of like how is she going to be on the dark side? Is she going to join Darth Maul's team? And what would it take as far as that? And honestly, I think the only way, which I hope they don't do, but I think they will, is the death of her master Jedi, Daki. But I hope they don't kill him off. I like this character. Like, he can be like the Yoda of this show if they really want to keep him. But that's what I think. But that's something I do enjoy watching, is just Devin finding conflict, being conflicted between good and evil, Jedi, Sith Lord type thing. Like, again, this is something like a lot of Jedis deal with, or one of their many challenges of becoming a Jedi, basically. So I do like that. And I do enjoy just seeing the lightsabers and all that. So a really good show. And again, if I had to give this episode a 1 out of 10, this is a 10 out of 10 episode as well. Really good. Really, really good. A lot of action. And then what I like about this is whether they start slow or don't start slow, they just kickstart it. But they know when, in the right time, in the right place, to slow down the action and the intensity. And when they do, it has a meaningful dialogue. It's very passionate. We see different sides of each character. And finally, again, I like how, what makes this a 10 out of 10 is the star of the show, Maul. I like how they're portraying him. Like, in this, he seems like a badass, which he is. He feels he can't be defeated, but he can be defeated. He's been defeated before, obviously. But in this, he's like the big shark in a small pond. And I think that's okay because, he's obviously getting revenge on Dark Sidious, his master, for he feels betrayed, obviously. He's been lied to, he's manipulated. So he's not really for the Sith Lords, and he's not really for the Jedi, but he's just angry and he wants revenge. And he's going to hijack and ambush a lot of like gang members, mobster type, shipping supplies, supplements and stuff like that in the crime lord world. Like, that's what he wants to take over, obviously. And he obviously wants to get revenge on the whole empire. But in this timeline, Maul doesn't understand that about Darth Vader. He doesn't understand the Anakin Skywalker situation. He may be aware of it, but he doesn't understand like the two are the same person. And he doesn't understand how powerful the Sith Lords have gotten now. he thinks like he's above them, so he hasn't met his match yet. And I wonder if they're going to lead up to him meeting Darth Vader, is the question. So I do like that. So they're making Maul look like he is that Sith Lord. He is the one you don't want to mess with. So I like that. And I like, too, they're kind of showing his weakness and his strength at the same time. But the one thing his strength is, he's very passionate and he won't give up. And he's going to achieve this plan that he has. So that's what I like about it. But that is my spoiler review. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Subscribe. Hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys and peace